Burkina Faso's 35-year-old president Ibrahim Traoré is boldly defying the long-standing notion among African leaders that one must be wealthy to command respect from their people and the global community. It's extremely uncommon to witness an African president leading a modest lifestyle, particularly when their country is grappling with economic challenges. Many African leaders own luxurious cars, reside in opulent mansions, wear expensive custom-made suits, and even travel in lavish private jets, seemingly unconcerned about the plight of their people. In stark contrast to these extravagant lifestyles, Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, chooses not to prioritize luxury. Instead, his focus lies in placing the needs of his people first, even going so far as to reduce his own salary. Ibrahim Traoré draws frequent comparisons to Thomas Sankara, primarily due to his modest lifestyle and unyielding dedication to his people. Much like Sankara, Traoré prefers to drive a simple car and eschews the opulence of expensive suits in favor of military attire. This was evident during the Russia-Africa summit, where Traoré stood out among his African counterparts by donning military combat clothing, complete with a distinctive red beret and tactical gloves. Moreover, Traoré's refusal to accept a president's salary and his steadfast commitment to maintaining a salary as a military captain serve as a poignant testament to his unwavering commitment to serving his country. This and many more will be covered in today's video. Prepare to be amazed by the impact of this young visionary leader on the transformation of Burkina Faso. Before we proceed, we kindly ask that you consider showing your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. Ibrahim Traoré made history in September 2022 by becoming the world's youngest head of state. He assumed power after he and a group of junior military officers staged a coup to oust Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Damiba, who had taken office in a coup earlier in the year. Traoré justified their actions by stating in a televised address on October 1, 2022, that Damiba had failed to effectively address the ongoing issue of insurgency. Damiba was displaced by Traoré, who, despite being 7 years his junior and occupying a lower position in the military hierarchy, held the rank of capitaine, denoting a captain in the French military structure. Burkina Faso, as a former French colony, adopted the military command hierarchy from France, where ranks above capitaine include commandant, lieutenant colonel, and colonel. Although Traoré's rapid ascent may have been perceived as meteoric by many, within military circles, it was anticipated. Following service in junior roles within Burkina Faso's military, Traoré's career trajectory notably advanced in 2014 with his deployment to Mali as part of the United Nations peacekeeping mission, MINUSMA. Testimonies from fellow soldiers within Burkina Faso's military have previously underscored Traoré's valor during his deployment to Mali, particularly in overcoming a daunting, complex attack by militant extremists in the northern Timbuktu region at the age of 26. In addition to his service in Mali, Traoré played a prominent role in combating insurgency in Burkina Faso between 2019 and 2022, culminating in his promotion to the rank of captain in 2020. Following the successful overthrow of Damiba's administration in September 2022, Traoré, aged 34 at the time, acknowledged the potential scrutiny surrounding his relatively young age in relation to his eligibility for the presidency. Addressing government officials in October 2022, he stated, "I understand that my age sets me apart from most of you present. The events that transpired were not of our choosing, but rather a necessity." Subsequently, Traoré's international prominence waned until July 2023, when he participated in the Russia-Africa summit in St. Petersburg, alongside 16 other African heads of state, convened by President Vladimir Putin. As I told you earlier, while his counterparts donned their customary opulent suits, Traoré made a distinct impression by appearing in military combat attire, complete with a red beret and tactical gloves. The dress code earned him the attention, but his speech during the Russia-Africa summit held between July 27th and 28th earned him plaudits. The issue lies in witnessing African heads of state who failed to provide for their people in need, echoing the rhetoric of the imperialists who label us as militia. Consequently, they inadvertently portray us as individuals who do not uphold human rights, stated Traoré. We, as leaders of African nations, must refrain from behaving like puppets manipulated by external forces. We must prioritize our sovereignty and act in the best interest of our people, Traoré added. Traoré strongly criticized African presidents who appear content to accept handouts. He specifically addressed President Vladimir Putin's announcement on July 27, in which he pledged to send free grain to Africa. Traoré expressed gratitude for the gesture, but used it as an opportunity to convey a message to African heads of state. He emphasized the need for African leaders to prioritize achieving self-sufficiency in food production and supply for their people. Traoré urged them to learn from the successes of other nations in achieving this goal. He stressed that at the next forum, African leaders should not attend without having taken concrete steps to ensure the food security and self-sufficiency of their nations. Traoré's statements drew comparisons to those articulated in the early 1980s by the esteemed Thomas Sankara, who, like Traoré, assumed the presidency of Burkina Faso through a coup. Leaving aside Ibrahim Traoré's early life, let us now shift our focus to Traoré's achievements. It is an indisputable reality that Ibrahim Traoré is amassing a substantial degree of trust and backing within Burkina Faso and across the African continent in comparison to other African leaders. Just a few days prior, a multitude of citizens engaged in demonstrations, advocating for an extension of Ibrahim Traoré's transitional tenure, which was originally slated to conclude in July. Subsequently, a recent charter has been ratified, permitting Burkina Faso's military leader to prolong their authority for an additional 5 years. Subsequent to the endorsement of the new charter subsequent to national deliberations on Saturday, May 25th. The deliberations convened in the capital city of Ouagadougou encompassed representatives from civil society, security forces, and transitional legislators, albeit the limited involvement of political parties in the process. Even after the signing of the new charter, many citizens were left unsettled. While decision-makers debated inside the conference hall about extending the transition, a group of impassioned youth gathered outside, fervently advocating for Captain Traoré to lead Burkina Faso for the next 10 years. This fervent display of confidence in Traoré's leadership underscores the deep-seated divisions and complexities in the public sentiment regarding the nation's future trajectory. Ibrahim Traoré has been recognized for his practical approach to political ideology. He has addressed a significant economic challenge in Burkina Faso by pointing out the absence of a domestic gold refinery. Despite the country's status as a major global gold supplier, miners were forced to export raw ore to European countries for refining. In response to this issue, Traoré has taken proactive steps to initiate the construction of a gold refinery within Burkina Faso. This strategic decision is anticipated to yield numerous job opportunities and contribute to the overall economic prosperity of the country. President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso has spearheaded a series of impactful economic measures, including the implementation of substantial tax reductions and collaborative efforts with the private sector to facilitate access to capital for young entrepreneurs. Notably, Traoré has introduced the innovative concept of popular shareholding, aimed at privatizing government assets and ventures to enable public investment in the nation's development. This initiative saw 20% of the government-owned telecommunications company offered for public purchase, resulting in a highly successful venture that generated $60 million in revenue for critical projects. President Traoré has also demonstrated his commitment to fiscal responsibility by reducing the salaries of all government ministers and officials by 20%. Furthermore, he has declined a presidential salary, choosing instead to maintain his earnings at the level of a military captain, thus exemplifying his selfless dedication to serving his country. Ibrahim astounded journalists by asserting his commitment to defending his people's right to protest, even in the face of criticism of his own actions, emphasizing his role as a servant of the people. His unwavering declarations regarding the trust placed in him and his colleagues to protect the nation's future are a welcome departure from the prevailing attitudes among leaders in many African countries, where leaders often consider themselves as sovereigns and their citizens as subjects. In the current state of Burkina Faso's leadership, Captain Ibrahim Traoré serves as the president, shouldering significant responsibilities during a critical period for the nation. Despite his prominent position, he has maintained a remarkable level of discretion regarding his personal life, keeping it largely private from the public eye. While Captain Ibrahim Traore's professional endeavors and actions as a leader are well documented, there is currently no widely known or publicized information about his family or any romantic relationships. This low profile on personal matters has allowed him to concentrate on the task at hand and navigate the challenges of leadership with determination and focus. As the leader of Burkina Faso during this transitional phase, Captain Ibrahim Traore's primary focus is likely on steering the country towards stability and progress and addressing the pressing issues faced by the nation. As of the current date, information regarding the net worth of Captain Ibrahim Traore remains undisclosed. In light of his position as the transition president of Burkina Faso, specifics pertaining to his financial matters are maintained as private within the public domain. In regard to today's video, we would appreciate it if you could subscribe, like, and share it. Additionally, we welcome your thoughts in the comments section below.